Hey guys, welcome back to my channel AG Motion Designs, and in today's video we are going to create this Google logo reveal inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin. So if you are new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So as always, here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition. I'll call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, and duration, we don't want much more duration, so I'll choose 10 seconds only. And background color, I'm going to choose white color. Simply hit OK and hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and hit on title section to get this proper grid. Now press Ctrl I on your keyboard to select your logo. I have this Google Chrome logo over here, so I'll select it and I'll simply hit import and I'll bring this over here. Now as you guys can see, the size is too much, so I'll press S for scaling option and scale it somewhere around like this. Let's zoom in a little bit like this. Now select your pen behind tool, and with the help of that we will adjust the anchor point of this thing properly at the center like this. Okay, now select this logo, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now press V for selection tool and we will adjust it properly at the center like this, and press Y again to choose pen behind tool and zoom in and adjust it anchor point at the center like this. Okay, so now let's select our ellipse tool and go to the fill, and we are going to select this color and simply hit OK. Now press shift and hold and create something like this. Then press Ctrl Alt to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically like this. Now let's choose black color for this, so we can use this as a reference, and Ctrl Alt Home like this. Now press S for scaling option and scale it like this. Now as you guys can see, it's not covering the entire logo, so we need to change the position of this logo a little bit. So I'll move somewhere around over here. Now this blue ring is properly aligned with this shape, and now we will select this logo and with the help of pen behind tool I'll adjust it properly at the center. Now our logo is properly at the center like this. Now I'm going to select this shape layer. I'll press S for scaling option and I'll scale it to cover it like this, or let's move this over here and select your selection tool, go to the fill, and with the help of this picker I'm going to choose this color only like this. Press S, select this and increase the size of it somewhere around like this. Now select this shape layer. In colors I'm going to choose, let's somewhere blue only. Now select this and hit Ctrl D, and now go to the fill and I'm going to choose this green color and simply hit OK over here. If the green color is available, you can choose that. Select this, hit Ctrl D, go to the fill option, select this and use this red color. Go to this color and choose red. Select this, hit Ctrl D, go to the fill. With the help of this picker we are going to choose this yellow color like this, and we want blue color only. So as you guys know that this fourth layer is blue one, so I'll hit Ctrl D and we will bring this up the top. Select this layer. Over here we have to choose yellow. So now we have red, green, yellow and blue like this, and we have one extra blue layer and logo layer. Now we will hide this extra blue layer and logo layer, so I'll hide this. Now select both the layers, I mean all the four layers. Initially let's press S and let's make the initial scale is 0, so create one keyframe like this. Go to around, let's say 20 frames, and let's increase the size of it to, let's say 60 and or let's say 70. Now select those keyframe and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this over here, so we'll get this kind of shape animation. Okay, now select all the four layers and press P for position. Let's create one keyframe, go to around 1 second, and now we will try to adjust the position of it. So by holding shift, let's move this over here, select this and let's move this over here. Select this red one and let's move this over here. Select this green one and let's move this over here like this. Okay, Now select all the keyframes, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift. Simply let's move this over here. So we will get something like this. Now right click, new, and create one null object. Select all of them and make it a parent with this null one. Select this null one, and at somewhere around over 20 frames I'll press R and I'll create one keyframe at the rotation, and up to let's say 2.20 frames I'll make one complete rotation like this. Select this rotation keyframes, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph, and by holding shift I'm going to move this point over here and this handle over here. So if I say this, I'll get this kind of rotation. And now I'm going to select all of them. I'll create one keyframe at the position and I'll go around 3.10 frames, and then I'll go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically like this. Now select all the keyframes and hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph, holding shift, move this over here, select this and move this over here. So we'll get this collision animation. Let's select these keyframes and last keyframes, and we will move this a little bit over here like this. Okay, so from this point I want this sixth layer, which is extra blue one, to start animate. So I'll select this and I'll move this over here, and let's enable our logo also, but we'll do that later. So initially let's create one keyframe, go few frame forwards, create another keyframe. Now go to the start and let's make it 0 completely. Select those keyframe, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph, holding shift, we'll move this over here like this, and you can start to animate from here like this. Okay, now we will select this Google Chrome logo, we will enable it and we will move this over here like this. Okay, now I'm going to select this shape layer, which is our blue layer, and I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll move this over here like this. And now we will select both the Chrome and the shape layer, and I'll press Ctrl Shift C and I'll call it as logo animation and hit OK. Alt open bracket, square open bracket, and we will trim this. Now let's go inside this comp. As you guys can know, we have this thing over here, which is our shape layer, and I'm going to choose something different color so I can see properly that it's gonna cover this. So let's increase the size of it, and we will delete the keyframes of this, we don't want that. And now select this Chrome logo, press F4, and we will choose alpha inverted matte like this. And as you guys can see, we have certain color over here, but we want that, so now we will focus on that later. Now select this and hit Ctrl C to hit Ctrl C to copy, go to the main animation and hit Ctrl V. I'm gonna select this layer, I'll hit enter and I'll call it as mask. Okay, now let's hide all of these layers, we don't need to focus on that, and I'll hit U. Now we have to focus on our logo animation. So now select this mask and press F4, and I'm going to choose alpha mask like this. Now go over here, I'm gonna select this mask, which is this layer, and I'll press S. I'll create one keyframe. After a few frames I'm gonna increase the size of it somewhere around like this. Okay, like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9. Then I'm going to select this logo layer, I'll press R for rotation, I'll create one keyframe, I'll go over here and rotation value I'm going to choose 4, so we'll get this rotation. Now select those keyframe and hit F9. I'll go to the graph editor, I'll select this graph, and by holding shift I'm going to move this over here like this, so we'll get this rotation animation. And instead of 4, let's make it 2 maybe, we don't want much more rotations. So let's see how does it looks. It will look something like this, and press F4 and we will enable this motion blur. So now if I see all the animations, we will unhide all these animations except this mask. So I'll get something like this and something like this, and select all of them and enable our motion blur. Okay, and press Ctrl Y to create a solid background, and I'll bring this downwards, so we'll get this kind of stuff. And at 5 seconds I'm gonna hit N, so my animation is completed. Now we will get this kind of results. So this is how you can create simple type of Google logo animation, and you can apply this kind of techniques to any of your logo which is circular for in a circular format. So yep, that's it for the today's video. We will see you in my next. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. And if you want to create some more interesting animations like this, then check out these two videos. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned.